Liberal Viewer presents.
So I recorded the O'Reilly Factor a couple weeks ago because Bill Maher was on to talk about how the CBS Evening News free speech segment wouldn't give him free speech to talk about religion. So when Maher was talking about religion with Bill O'Reilly, I thought he made a mistake, and O'Reilly called him on it. But before more of my comments, I'll let you look at the clip.
Jesus as a philosopher is wonderful. There's no greater role model, in my view, than Jesus Christ. It's just a shame that most of the people who follow him and call themselves Christians act nothing like him.
Most of them? Most Christians are
in this country.
bad?
Well, most Christians don't act Christ-like.
Most?
If they would call themselves Christ-likes instead of Christians, maybe it would remind them to act like Jesus.
Right,
Which people who are religious in this country are like the cafeteria Catholics. They pick and choose from the religious parts they want to follow. The ones who make the headlines, the evangelical Christians, are usually the ones who are behind everything that represents intolerance and bigotry. I notice, for example, that they're very often the ones who are hardest on drug use. It's very hard for me to imagine Jesus Christ going up to a medical marijuana sufferer and taking the joint out of his mouth and saying, "Good luck with your bone marrow cancer."
You know why?
So Bill Maher had a point. Conservative Christians sometimes do seem lacking in compassion, and I haven't seen a lot of them taking vows of poverty or pacifism. But Bill Maher should not have used the word most. Saying most Christians aren't Christ-like would require some data. If he'd said that many Christians don't seem Christ-like, as I have in some of my YouTube comments, then he'd only need anecdotal evidence. And here's Bill O'Reilly calling Bill Maher on that mistake.
Okay, Maher, now listen.
Well,
you know you're coming across as a bigot, an anti-Christian bigot, because nobody could possibly make a judgment about that many people that they're not good Christians. I'm just pointing out because you and I go back a long way, all right? And I don't think you're a bigot. I don't. But I think you come across as a bigot. I think you come across as one.
So, even though O'Reilly had a point, I had to wonder if he would be as sensitive to other kinds of bigotry. And, as luck would have it, to serve as a point of comparison, that very same day O'Reilly had infamous bigot John Rocker on his show, promoting an English-only campaign. You may remember Rocker's 1999 Sports Illustrated interview in which he smeared gays, Asians, foreigners, AIDS sufferers. So let's see if Bill O'Reilly mentions bigotry when questioning Rocker.
In light of what happened in the Sports Illustrated controversy, where you said, you know, foreigners, I don't feel comfortable around them, and then you singled out some other groups, why would you take on a Speak English campaign when they could say, hey, you know, it's just Rocker, and Rocker doesn't like foreign people, so why should we pay attention? You see what I mean? If your name is Harvey Shapiro and not John Rocker, okay, you're going to get a 75% approval rating with your analysis. You know that. I mean, most Americans say, look, United States, English is the official language. We should all be one nation.
Sure.
Okay? But now, with John Rocker, who says, man, these foreigners, they kind of bother me, they're going to say, he's coming at it from it. You say you don't want negativity, they're going to accuse you. And immediately, you don't mean those comments?
If you want it, well, the comments were...
I don't like the gays. I don't like this person.
We're not discussing gays. We're discussing immigration.
But they
and
speak English. Gay people do.
Yes, they do.
They speak
I appreciate
and that's
that.
good.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, are you going to tell me right now that those comments were immature and you regret them?
So what do you think? Was Bill O'Reilly as sensitive to bigotry with John Rocker as he was with Bill Maher? And on the bigger question Bill Maher raised, do most Christians really follow the teachings of Jesus?
YouTube, you decide.